Greetings. I'm Reverend John O'Toole. Like you don't know who that is. So I want to demonstrate the use of this today. So this morning, I was playing around with my WD, that's Western Digital MyBook backup that I've had for years and years. And I've since replaced it with a larger Seagate, and I find the need to replace it again with another larger Seagate because my video editing computer is quite large, actually. And so I want to back up it over my other computer. And I was pondering the idea of seeing if I could change drives in it and take it apart and see what's in it and see if I could use the drive. So that had a 3 terabyte drive. It's interesting that we consider a 3 terabyte drive small, a 1 terabyte drive small as a backup or a storage disk. I have 1 terabyte C drive and a 2 terabyte. They're both M2s. The second, all my video files, working files, are on the 2 terabyte M2 Intel drive. So I was trying this out this morning, and I didn't want to be bothered with taking that off. I didn't want to be bothered with setting up the mic and stuff, so I took this and I clipped it to my suspender. Now what I did is I clipped it to the underside of my suspender so you guys couldn't see it sitting on my suspender. And what happened is that every time that I would move, and I move a lot, you know I move a lot, I pick up noise, clothing noise on this. So that's something to keep in mind, is if you're clipping just the transmitter, then you want to clip it to the outside of your clothing so that the mic isn't picking up the noise, and it might still. I'm not going to know if it picks it up or not until I actually get into post-editing. So let's put it there and we'll move around a little bit and, you know, and that. Then when I look at post-editing, I'll see if it's still noisy or not. So the other option would be to go with the lavalier mic, which would bypass that movement. And so my accessing that drive didn't really work out well. I got because of the encryption, and I've heard about this before from a video channel that actually, that his profession is to recover data from hard drives. And they said that those have a special encryption to prevent people from not using their software to retrieve files. But if there's something that happens to the drive setup, then you need to have that encryption in order to get your files off of it, which kind of makes the MyBook kind of unappealing if something were to happen to it. And actually, I couldn't actually get backups to work on it anymore. It would come up with a failure. So I'm not sure. It's kind of it ended up being quite a long video. It was close to an hour for the time spent, and considering it takes 3 days to upload an hour-long video, I'm not sure if I'll put it all up. Now the other thing I noticed is that the meter, the dB meter peaks out I can see it right here on the screen. It peaks out. Now I can go into my camera and tune that down, but I can also do it in Premiere, and I'd rather do it in Premiere. So I let it record the way it wants, and then, now the other thing too is it picked up a hum. The air conditioner's off, my air concentrator is now in the other room. Maybe it's picking up that. I don't actually know what it's picking up for a noise. I can't hear anything, but that just means I'm not hearing anything. So I don't hear the fans on my computer running. Maybe that's what it's picking up. Now I can take rid of most of that in post, so I'm not overly concerned about it. It's just you'd like it to be as crisp as possible. So I have my mic out, and I probably should have put it on earlier. When you ate these wire ties, they're good on bread, but they're really kind of lousy for electronics. Everybody uses them, and then everybody throws them away afterwards. Talk about a landfill. So I'm going to clip this. Now, it's a good idea to do is to make a loop with the wire. And if you don't have a place on the bracket for the loop, which it has one, but I don't think it holds onto it very well. So that when you move around, it doesn't pull on the mic. I don't like this. See that? Now, the other thing you could do, it has a little place on the end. The other thing you can do is just put it into the clip, the alligator clip, so that you have a loop. You can even do it in such a way that the loop goes down. You know, I'm thinking, well, I plug this in, what am I going to talk about? Well, gee, I plug this in. All right, now we're away from this, so we can sit around here and flop around on that. And we're back to talking about this thing here. So it's a good idea to do a loop, so that when you move around while you're recording, that it doesn't necessarily pull on the microphone. Now, if I was wearing a dress shirt, I could clip it to, that. This shirt is really high up. So I'm probably just going to clip it to my suspender, which may be not the best place to put it. But that's where I'm going to go with it for now. So it's right there. You can't see it, can you? So we'll clip it up here. There we go. And then we'll talk for a little while, and we'll see how it sounds. And then what I'll do is when I'm editing it, I'll do some without the cutting back the gain, and I'll do some when I cut the gain back. I usually add a minus 15, and that drops it down. So you'd still pegging out at full screen. Now the best thing would be to do is to go in and turn it down so that it's actually around 12. And that's what the pros would do. They would set up the meter so that the sound would be a little better and it's not pegging out into the red. But I will go with, see how, if I don't talk, it's still going to a little bit. So it must be hearing. The only thing running in the house that you can visually hear is my air concentrator, which is now over in the weeds room, which you can't see from here. And you won't see today now because it's dark out. But it's straight that way. So I guess I could either turn it off or, problem with turning it off is I forget to turn it back on at night. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so it'd be nice to know what your capability is with your microphones. I've been using the shotgun mic for so long that the two of us, we kind of have this talk together. You know, we kind of know what each other are thinking. But it would be nice to be able to record just a little bit better sound with the lav mic. And I have a saying that I often tell people on YouTube, and it's, you can make good sound better, but you can't make crappy sound good. So you can't work from that. It's an old days. It's a method from old copying days. If you customers complaining about crooked copies, you can only make crooked copies better. You can't make them perfect. And you could take really good straight copies and make them better, but you have to have something good. So you're having a lot of skew as the paper is going through the printer or the copier. You can only make it better. And if you'll spend hours trying to make it perfect. And the customer would want you to do that. But they don't want you to use their paper. So that's what we do. We use our references from life experiences to get us going into the future. So until next time, pick up a video camera or a smartphone and make some videos. The only way you can know how to get better at shooting videos is to do them. You can judge my videos, you can judge someone else's videos, but if you don't shoot your own videos, you don't know what it's all about. So, ta-ta for now, and happy recording. Before I go, so the year before last, I did a Santa Claus reading the night before Christmas video. It was kind of my first home video on a green screen-ish. It wasn't a green screen, it was a green curtain, had some forest things in the back. And it was propped up on top of the refrigerator and freezer. And I didn't think I used a shotgun mic because I didn't have one at the time. It was very primitive. It's shot with 2 cameras, and you know, came out all right. It didn't come out. It came out all right considering my skill level. Last year, and it was actually around October. For some reason, I had an inkling that I should shoot it then when my beard was full instead of waiting and shooting a video in December. And the video was Santa reads Christmas stories. And I read 5 or 6 studio pictures I set it up with a camera over my shoulder, looking down at the book, and then I had one shot angled up and a shot straight on. So I had 3 cameras, I had the shotgun mic, and it was a lot of work actually, because I had to mask out anything green. I shot it against the green screen so that I could put in my own background. And I had to mask out any place where there was green in the book, because it would see through the pages to the background. So I had to learn about using masks, and it was, so then I had I had a couple different ways I did it. I had the whole feature, which I'm not sure what's on YouTube, whether it's the whole thing or if it's broken up. I submitted it to the TV station as 3 pieces so that it would be under the 30 minutes. And I also did a DVD for that also, and it was a nice DVD. It's, let's see if I can pull one out without making a mess. There we go. So, let me see, I'll open it up so you won't get the reflection. So I created a DVD, and it looks like this. And let me do that without the reflection. It's a picture of me holding each of the books. So it's 6 books. And I think it's a kind of a clever label. And I, did that in Photoshop. And yeah. And I gave this out to some of my friends. So it was pretty cool. But I'm dumbfounded on what to do this year if I do anything. So if you have any ideas, any constructive ideas that I can do, as with Santa, I like to do them now. And because I hate long beards. I don't know if I'm going to keep the beard. I mean, what is it? October now. Well, I've waited this long, so maybe I'll just go in for a trim, make it look neat. I really hate to having it, this getting into my food. So, if you have any ideas of what I could do as a project, I would really appreciate it. Put some comments down below, and I really could use a Mrs. Claus, but yeah, not too many available. Advertise online, and all I get is dirty pictures sent back to me. I don't understand why they relate the two. So, I haven't put a lot of time into it. I've kind of like put it out there and try to have something pop in my mind, but I haven't had anything pop in yet. And so if you have any ideas, feel free to make comments below. And I wish everybody happy recording. Ya-cha-cha-cha-cha. Ya-cha-cha-cha. Oh no, I didn't hit the green button. Oh yeah, there it is. It's right up there. Red button's up there. Now, not that I've done that before. Wait, I just recorded a half hour without recording anything. Ta-ta.